Hello everyone, this is Nagumina, your crochet tutor. Today we'll be seeing how to make this storage organizer along with a lid organizer. You can use it to store your bangles or your accessories. It comes with a cozy lid. So as you can see, it is looking nice and stiff. I haven't used any stiffening agents to it. And you can make it in different sizes and different colors. You can also use this as a fruit storage basket. Now let's get started and see how to crochet this beautiful storage organizer along with this lid. Let's get started.
Let's take a look at the crochet supplies that are required for our project. I am using Olivia brand yarn and today I am using the shade lavender and baby pink, and for this project I will be using 2 strands of yarn together. So I will be using 2 strands of lavender and 2 strands of baby pink. So based on the thickness of your yarn, you can use it either as a single strand or you can use it in a double strand. Today I will be using a 5.5 millimeter hook, tapestry needle, a pair of scissors,
few stitch markers.
Grab your crochet supplies. Let's get started. I have taken 2 strands of yarn together. First let's make the base for our storage organizer. Start off with a magic ring. So our magic ring is ready. Chain 3 for round number 1. Start off by making chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. So I have made 3 chains. So top of your chain 3, insert a stitch marker. We'll be working double crochets. I have made 2 double crochets. We are going to make 19 more double crochets. Including this chain 3, you will be having a total of 22 stitches. So work double crochet into this magic ring. I'll meet you at the end. At the end of round number 1, you will be having a total of 22 sets of double crochets. So now we'll pull off this thread over here and we will close our magic ring. Now we are going to make a slip stitch in the top of our chain 3. Remove the stitch marker. So make a slip stitch here. So our round number 1 is done. Moving on to round number 2, we are going to work chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So this will be our first double crochet. Into the same stitch work another double crochet. So this is a increase. Done. Now into the next stitch work 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch work 2 sets of double crochet. Now we'll be working 1 double crochet and into the next stitch 2 sets of double crochet. This will be the pattern for our round number 2. In one stitch you will work a increase of 2 double crochets, and in the next one you will be working 1 double crochet. Follow this pattern of making 2 double crochet followed by 1 double crochet for this entire round. I'll meet you at the end. We have reached the end of our round number 2. Here you will be having a total of 33 sets of stitches including this chain 3. Now at the top of your chain 3 we'll make a slip stitch. In case if you are finding it difficult to identify which is your first stitch, then you can use a stitch marker over here to identify your first stitch. So here we'll make our slip stitch. So done. Moving on to round number 3, I'll be making a chain 3. My first double crochet, and into the same stitch work another double crochet. Now into the next 2 stitches I'll be working 1 set of double crochet. So here I'll be working 1 double crochet, and into the next stitch I'll be working 1 double crochet. So we made an increase here followed by 1 set of double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we'll be making 2 sets of double crochet. And into the next 2 stitches work 1 double crochet. This will be our pattern. We'll work 2 sets of double crochet in 1 stitch followed by 1 double crochet into our next stitches. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end of round number 3. So we have reached the end of our round number 3. In this round, including this chain 3, you will be having a total of 44 stitches. Now the top of your third chain, make a slip stitch. If you get confused on where is your chain 3, then you can use a stitch marker and mark there. So our base is ready. It is looking sturdy and stiff. So now let's tie these like extra ends together, and we'll tie it here. So the base for our storage organizer is ready. Now let's see how to make the walls for our storage organizer. Start off by making chain 3. So I have made my chain 3. Skip the next stitch, and into the third one make a single crochet. Chain 3. Skip the next stitch, and here work a single crochet. Chain 3. Skip 1 stitch and work a single crochet. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end. We have reached the end. Now make chain 3. So we are having one last stitch here. Skip it here, and at the base here work a single slip stitch. Done. Now we are going to start working our cluster stitch. We'll be working in the space over here. So first make a slip stitch over here. Now let's start off by making chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So this will be our first double crochet. Now yarn over into the space. So we'll be working the first half of our double crochet. We have 3 loops in our hook. So I'm going to work through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through. So now I'm having 2 loops. Now again yarn over, go into the space and pull through. You have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. You have 3 loops remaining. Yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops and make a chain. Secure it with a chain. So our cluster stitch is ready. Now into the next stitch we are going to work in the similar manner. So yarn over, go through. Now work the first half of our double crochet and again yarn over, go through 4 loops. Yarn over, go through the first 2 loops and one more time. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 loops in your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. You have 4 loops. Yarn over, go through all the 4 loops and secure it with a chain 1. So what we are basically doing is we are working the first half of our double crochets 3 times. So this is called a cluster stitch. Now we'll be working a cluster stitch in each of the chain 3 space. So follow the same way and make cluster stitches in each of the chain 3 space. I'll meet you at the end here. Now our basket has started to take the shape and it's looking stiff. So we'll see how to finish off this round. We are going to finish it over here in the space here, top of your first cluster. Done. Now I'm going to start from this chain space over here. So make another slip stitch here. In the round number 2 for our sides is we are going to repeat the same cluster stitch which we did here. Start off by making chain 3, chain 3 and work first half of your double crochet, then yarn over, go into the space and make the first half of your second double crochet. Now yarn over, pull through all the 3 and work a chain 1. Now into this next chain 1 space work a cluster stitch. Now again in this space so follow the same pattern of working cluster stitches in each of the chain 1 space, and when you reach the end make a slip stitch at the top over here, the top of your first cluster, then make a slip stitch into this chain space and repeat the same row. So repeat the cluster stitches till you reach your desired height for your organizer. I'll meet you once I reach the desired height for my storage organizer. I have made a total of 5 rows of this cluster stitch. See our storage basket is nice and stiff. We are going to make another one row just like a border for our storage basket. Then we'll finish off the storage basket and move on to see. We'll be working another one row for the storage basket. Then the bottom portion is done. Then we'll move on and see how to make our lid for our storage basket. Now let's see how to make the last round for our basket. The last round is going to be of single crochet. I'm going to start off by making a chain 1. So this will be our first single crochet. Now into the space work 1 single crochet. So after making this single crochet, I'm going to use a stitch marker and I'm going to mark my first chain over here, so that it will be easy for us when we are finishing our round. Now into our next stitch over here, make a single crochet, and into the space 1 single crochet, and here into the top of our stitch a single crochet, top of the cluster stitch. Now into the space 1 single crochet, and the top of our cluster stitch 1 single crochet. So follow the same pattern of working 1 single crochet into each of the cluster stitch and 1 single crochet into our chain space. So work single crochets for this entire round. I'll meet you at this end. Now I have reached the end. I have made my last single crochet over here. Now remove the stitch marker, and into this chain 1 we'll make our slip stitch. I have made my slip stitch. So our storage container is ready. Now let's weave this end off. So our storage basket is ready. Now let's move on and see how to make the lid for our storage basket. For lid, again I am using 2 strands of yarn. Now first let's make a magic ring. Now our magic ring is ready. First I am going to make 3 chains. 1, 2 and 3. This will be our first double crochet. Now into this ring we are going to work 21 more double crochets. So after making my first double crochet, I am using a stitch marker to mark the chain 3 over here. Like the top of our chain 3, I am marking it using a stitch marker, so that it will be easy when we finish our round. So I have made 1 double crochet, 20 more double crochets to go. Work all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. I have finished my round 1. Including this chain 3, I am having a total of 22 sets of stitches. Now let's pull this yarn off and close our magic ring. Now remove this stitch marker over here, and this is our top of our chain 3. So here make a slip stitch. We are done with our round number 1. Moving on to round number 2, we are going to work double crochets. So start off by making chain 3 and into the same stitch work one more double crochet. So we have made 2 stitches in our first stitch. So one chain 3 followed by a double crochet. Now 1, 2 and 3 into this third chain I have attached my stitch marker. Now into the next stitch work 1 double crochet, and into the next stitch 2 sets of double crochet, and into our next stitch work 1 double crochet. For round number 2 we will be working 1 double crochet in one stitch followed by 2 double crochets in another stitch. So 2 1 2 1 will be our pattern. So follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end. We have reached the end of our round number 2. In this row you'll be having a total of 33 stitches including this chain 3. Now remove the stitch marker, and in the top of our third chain we'll be working our slip stitch. Moving on to round number 3, start off by making chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and into the same stitch work 1 double crochet. It will be considered as 2 stitches in our first one. Now again grab your stitch marker and in the top of your chain 3 attach your stitch marker over there. Now into our next 2 stitches I'll be working 1 1 double crochet. So into my next stitch I am working 1 double crochet and into the second one. So now again I'll be working 2 sets of double crochet. And into our next 2 stitches work 1 1 double crochet. So we started off by making a chain 3 and a double crochet in the same stitch, and into our next 2 stitches I have worked 1 1 double crochet and again 2 double crochets in the same stitch followed by 1 1 double crochets into the next 2 stitch. Now we will be making 2 double crochets into our next stitch. And 1 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So first and again into the next stitch 1 more double crochet. The pattern for this round will be 2 1 1. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end. At the end of round number 3, including this chain 3 over here, you will be having a total of 44 set of stitches. Now remove your stitch marker over here and in the top of our chain 3, I'll be making my slip stitch. Done. So moving on to round number 4, I'm going to make half double crochets in this round. For half double crochets, I'll make chain 2. This will be my first stitch, and into the same space I am working another half double crochet. So you have 1, 2 and 3 loops in your hook. Yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops together. So in the same stitch I have made 2 sets of stitches. So this will be my increase, and into the next 3 stitches I'll be working 1, 1 half double crochet. So your first half double crochet into the next stitch, 2 and 3, one, 2 and 3 stitches, like 3 half double crochets I have made 1, 1 in 3 stitches, and now into the next stitch I'll be working 2 half double crochet. In the same space another half double crochet, and into the next 3 stitches work 1, 1 half double crochet. I have made 1, 2 and 3 half double crochets. Into my next stitch I am going to work 2 half double crochet. The pattern for this round number 4 will be 2 followed by 1 half double crochet in the 3 stitches. Follow the same pattern. I'll meet you at the end. At the end of round number 4, we'll be having a total of 55 stitches including this chain 2, and here top of your chain 2 work a slip stitch. If you find it difficult, you can even use a stitch marker at the beginning to mark your chain 2 over here. Now what we are going to do is we are going to work cluster stitches. I'll make a chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So after working a cluster stitch, yarn over and go through the same space, yarn over and pull through. So now work the first half of your double crochet. Done. Now yarn over, go into the same space, yarn over, pull through. Now work the first half of your second double crochet. You have 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. Now make a chain 1. So this is our cluster stitch. The cluster stitch which we did for our container, we are going to do the same thing. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip 2 stitches. So this one is our first one. I'm going to skip 1. We have here our first stitch. So 1 and 2, and into the third stitch I'm going to work. How I'm going to work is, so generally what we do is we go through both the loops over here, right? Now I'm going to work only in my back loop. So skip 2 stitches, and into my back loop I'm going to work my cluster stitch. So work your first half of the double crochet and yarn over into the same space. Work the first half of your second double crochet, yarn over into the same space, and work the first half of your third double crochet. You are having 4 loops in the hook. Yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, secure it with a chain 1. Now from now on what we'll be doing is we'll be skipping only 1 stitch. I'll skip the next stitch, and into my next stitch I'll be working only in the back loop. So work a cluster stitch. secure it with a chain 1. Now again skip one stitch and work in the back loop. Chain 1. So follow the same pattern of working a cluster stitch, skipping the next stitch and working a cluster stitch. So work, I'll meet you at the end over here. I have made my cluster stitches and made my last chain 1 here, and we are skipping the double crochet over here, and I'm going to make a slip stitch in the top of our first cluster. So I have made my slip stitch over here. So what I'm going to do is, let's weave off this end so that we can proceed. First we'll weave off this end over here so that we can proceed with the border for this one. Done. I'll cut off this extra yarn over here. Moving on to our next round for this lid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a row of single crochet. I'm going to make a chain 1 first. So this will be our first stitch over here. So to prevent from getting misled by our stitches, I'm going to use a stitch marker here and mark my first stitch over here. So after doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a single crochet in this space. And now another single crochet at the top of our cluster stitch. And now a single crochet here in the chain space. Now a single crochet at the top of our cluster stitch. Now again in the space, in the same way work one single crochet in each and every stitch. I'll meet you at the end over here. I have reached the end. So here is our stitch marker. I'll remove my stitch marker, and in this first chain we'll make a slip stitch. The next round is our last round for this lid. We are going to repeat the same single crochets. So we'll be working one single crochet into each of our previous single crochet. Start off by making a chain 1. So after making a chain 1, use a stitch marker and mark it over here. And now I'm going to work one single crochet into each of our single crochets. In the same manner, work one single crochet into each of our single crochet stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. I have reached the end. So remove your stitch marker and we'll make a slip stitch over. I have removed the stitch marker. We'll make a slip stitch into our first chain 1 over here. So now let's cut this yarn off and we'll weave the ends.
Now let's cut off this end. So now what we are going to do is here like between these two single crochet stitches I am going to make a small chain kind of stitch. So I have taken my second color. So what I am going to do is wrap your yarn in your forefinger and insert your hook inside and pull off the thread. Fine. So now what we are going to do is insert into the next space and we are going to do a normal chain stitch. So we are going to work chain stitches like this here. So now insert your hook into the next space and again work a chain. So we have made chain. In similar way we are going to work it for our entire round, like for the circumference of the lid we are going to work in the same way. It is looking nice. So the same way work all over. I'll meet you when I reach here. So as you can see, like I have finished it. It's looking nice. So now let's see how to finish this off. I'll cut this extra thread over here, like I'll cut off this extra yarn. So pull this thread off. Fine. Now insert your hook from back and pull this thread in. So now both our threads are inside and this one is looking nice. Now let's tie it off. Cut this extra yarn here. It's looking nice. Now let's move on and see how to make our knob and a bow for decorating our lid. Now we are going to make a small knob and a small bow for our basket. So I am using this baby pink colored yarn and this is Olivia branded yarn. I'll be using a 2.5mm hook and I'll be using only single strand in it, a pair of scissors and few beads for decorating our bow, and for knob you need cotton for stuffing. So now let's see how to make the bow and the knob for our basket. First let's make the bow. So we'll start off by making a magic ring. Start off by making 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I have made 6 chains. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 6 sets of double triple crochet. So for double triple crochet what I'm going to do is yarn over 3 times. Once, twice and thrice. So I have yarned over 3 times and now I'm having 1, 2, 3 and 4 loops in my hook. So now go into the magic ring, yarn over and pull through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm having
1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 loops in my hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 and yarn over, pull through the next 2 and yarn over, pull through the next 2, and I have 2 more remaining. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. So this is my double treble crochet. Now again 1, 2 and 3 I have yarned over thrice, and now go into the magic ring, pull over, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, and finally yarn over, pull through the last 2. So now I have made 2 sets of double treble crochet. We'll make 4 more sets of double treble crochet. One, two, three, 4, 5 and 6. So we have made 6 sets of double treble crochet. Now I am going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. After making 5 sets of chain, make a slip stitch into the magic ring. Done. So the first half of our bow is ready. So here we started finished off by making 5 chains, right? So start off by making 5 chains first. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So after making 5 chains, we are going to make 6 set of double treble crochet. So yarn over 3 times and go through the magic ring. So yarn over, pull through the first 2, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, and finally the last 2. The same way make 6 sets of double treble crochet. So now I have made 3 sets of double treble crochet. I'll make the remaining 3 set of double treble crochet and I'll meet you. I have made 6 sets of double treble crochet. Now I'm going to make chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So after making 5 chains, make a slip stitch here in the magic ring. The shape of the bow has come. Now I'll pull off this extra yarn over here and close the magic ring. Fine. Now let's cut this yarn off. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to wrap it round here in this manner. So we are going to wrap it. So now I have attached my beads to it. So instead of attaching it using a yarn, you can even stick it using a hot glue gun. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tie it here.
So now our bow is looking nice. We'll cut off this extra yarn over here. I have secured it well. Now let's see how to make the knob for our lid. Start off by making a magic ring. So we are going to work double crochet. Start off by making a chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So after making chain 3, the top of the third chain, mark it using a stitch marker. Now into this magic ring work 11 more double crochets. So I have worked 5 sets of double crochets. Work 6 more double crochets. I'll meet you at the end. I have made 11 double crochets along with this chain 3 over here. It will be considered as 12 sets of double crochets. Now let's pull off this yarn over here and close our magic ring. To finish off this round, remove the stitch marker over here. Work a slip stitch in the top of your chain 3. So our round number 1 is ready. For round number 2, start off by making chain 3. So this is our chain 3. Top of the third chain, I am making a top of your third chain, mark your stitch marker. Into each stitch we are going to work 1 double crochets. So now into your next stitch, so this is our first stitch over here, into our next stitch work 1 double crochet. So in this round, like our previous round, we'll be having 12 sets of double crochets. Work 1 double crochet in each of your stitches. I'll meet you when I reach the end of round number 2. I have made the double crochets over here. So what I'm going to do is, we are going to make a slip stitch at the top of your chain 3. So remove your stitch marker over here, and at the top of your chain 3 work a slip stitch. So our it has started to curl up. Now for round number 3, we are working single crochet. So chain 1 and mark this chain 1 with your stitch marker. Now into each of the stitches work 1 single crochet. So here you have to have 12 single crochets including the chain 1 which we did at the beginning. So work in the same way. I'll catch you at the end. So I have made my last round of single crochets. So I have reached the end. So remove the stitch marker over here and we'll make a slip stitch in the first chain over here. So make a slip stitch into our first chain over there. So our knob is looking good. Now let's cut this yarn off. So make a chain 1. Now we'll stuff this with our cotton. So now our knob is ready and our bow is also ready. Now let's see how to fix this to the lid of our storage box. So now our knob is ready. We are going to fit the knob over here, and the bow we are going to place it here. So I am going to use hot glue gun to fix them. So instead of using hot glue gun, you can also use a sieving needle, and you can stitch it over here, like into the space over here. And the similar way, instead of tying it over here, you can stitch it here. Now let's assemble this. So our storage organizer is ready. So we have fixed our bow and the knob over here. Now let's see the measurement. So first let's see the measurement for our lid. So the circumference is 13 centimeters. So the height is 4.5 centimeters. This is for the lid. So for our storage, if you see, the height is 9.5 centimeters and the diameter is 11 centimeters. You can do the same thing using different colors of yarn, and you can use different hook size, so that you get when you use a different hook size, the size of your storage box will either increase or decrease depending on your hook size. And for the lid, instead of crocheting a bow, you can use some kind of beads and decorate your crochet lid. You can use beads and you can decorate it. And you can also use a contrasting color for your lid. In case of any questions related to the storage box, feel free to ask. I'll revert to you as soon as possible. Happy crocheting. I'll meet you in another crochet video lesson. Until then, bye.